Most people don't come to the Balkans for fine dining. They come for fire. In Belgrade, smoke doesn't drift politely into the sky. It hangs low over cobblestone streets, clinging to brick walls and open windows. The scent is unmistakable. Charcoal, garlic, grilled meat. Before the clubs fill, before the river lights flicker on, the grills are already hot. Ćevapi sizzle over open flame. Pljeskavica patties press against iron grates. Fat drips into coals, sending sparks into the evening air. Somewhere nearby, live tamburica music spills from a restaurant doorway, strings fast, voices louder. Belgrade doesn't separate food from sound. It layers them. Markets hum in the morning, bohemian streets echo by night, and along the rivers, bass vibrates against dark water. This is a city built on rhythm, of smoke, of meat, of music that doesn't quiet down. Tonight, we're exploring Belgrade from its oldest grill streets to the river clubs that keep it awake until sunrise. If you enjoy cities that feel loud, unapologetic, and full of flavor, hit like and subscribe. It's free, it helps the channel grow, and it lets me keep uncovering places that don't soften their identity. Skadarlija, the sound of the grill. As evening settles over Belgrade, the air shifts toward one street. In Skadarlija, cobblestones glow under warm lantern light. Old brick facades lean inward, restaurant doors stay open, and before the music fully rises, the grills are already hot. Here, it's all about ćevapi, short, skinless sausages made from minced beef and lamb, packed tight with garlic and pepper. They hit open charcoal and blister quickly, edges darkening as fat drips into the coals. They're served inside warm samun bread, topped with chopped raw onions and a spoonful of kajmak, a thick, creamy dairy spread that melts slowly into the meat. Next comes Pljeskavica, Serbia's answer to a burger, but wider, thinner, and grilled hard over flame. Some versions are stuffed with cheese. Others come layered with ajvar, the smoky red pepper relish that cuts through the richness. You'll also find Karađorđeva šnikla, rolled veal stuffed with kajmak and fried until golden, sliced thick and served with tartar sauce. Heavy, indulgent, unapologetic. Music builds as plates arrive. Tamburica strings pick up tempo. Rakija, Serbia's fruit brandy, is poured fast and clear, usually plum or apricot, sharp enough to reset the palate between bites. This isn't delicate dining. It's fire and sound moving together. Ćevapi hissing, glasses clinking, voices rising under lantern light. Skadarlija doesn't stage tradition. It keeps cooking it. Location: Skadarlija Street, Old Town, Belgrade. Grill plates 1,000 to 2,000 RSD, 9 to 18 US dollars. Rakia 300 to 600 RSD, 3 to 6 US dollars. Zeleni Venac Market, the morning pulse. When Belgrade wakes, it doesn't wake quietly. At Zeleni Venac Market, the rhythm starts early. Crates hit pavement, vendors unfold tarps. Produce is stacked in fast, efficient towers of red peppers, deep purple eggplants, and tomatoes still warm from the sun. The scent here isn't smoke, it's bread. At the bakery counters lining the market's edge, trays of burek slide out of ovens. Flaky pastries spiraled tight and stuffed with minced meat or white cheese. The crust crackles when sliced. Steam escapes in quick bursts as it's wrapped in thin paper and handed over with small cups of yogurt to drink on the side. Nearby, squares of jabanica, layered pastry folded with soft cheese and egg, sit golden and heavy, cut into thick portions that barely hold together when lifted. Stalls overflow with jars of ajvar, the smoky red pepper spread made from roasted capsicum and eggplant. Lids twist open for sampling. The aroma is sweet, charred, and unmistakably Balkan. Cheese vendors slice thick slabs of white serene and creamy kajmak from large rounds, wrapping them in paper as customers discuss price without hurry. This isn't curated for visitors. It's routine. Workers stop before heading to offices. Elderly locals move slowly between stalls. Conversations stretch across counters while scales tip and reset. Zeleni Venac shows you the foundation of Belgrade's flavor. Before the music starts, before the grills fire again. Location: Zeleni Venac, Central Belgrade. Burek 200 to 400 RSD, 2 to 4 US dollars. Cheese and produce sold by weight. Ajvar jars 500 to 1,000 RSD, 4 to 9 US dollars. Kalemegdan Fortress, where rivers meet. High above the city where the Danube meets the Sava, Belgrade pauses. At Kalemegdan Fortress, the noise softens. Stone walls stretch wide across the hilltop, weathered and uneven, carrying layers of Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian history in their surface. From the edge, the view opens suddenly, two rivers merging below, cargo ships drifting slowly past, rooftops spreading outward in muted reds and grays. Vendors move quietly along the paths, selling roasted corn in paper sleeves, sunflower seeds in small plastic cups, and bottles of cold beer pass discreetly between friends. Couples sit on the fortress walls, watching the light shift across the water. Musicians play softly under trees. The air smells faintly of grass and river wind, a sharp contrast to the charcoal smoke of Skadarlija. As sunset deepens, the sky turns amber over the confluence. The city below begins lighting up, one window at a time. Belgrade doesn't hide its history here, it stands on it. The markets feed the day, the grills feed the night. Kalemegdan holds everything in between. Location: Kalemegdan Fortress, Stari Grad, Belgrade. Free entry: Splavovi, the river after dark. When the sun disappears behind the skyline, Belgrade moves toward the water. Along the banks of the Sava and Danube, the Belgrade river clubs begin to glow. From the outside, they look like anchored boats, wooden decks, metal railings, simple structures floating just above the current. Then the bass starts. Inside, the air is thick with heat and music. DJs switch between Balkan pop, house, turbo folk, and hip-hop without warning. Dance floors pack quickly. Drinks are poured fast. Vodka, beer, rakia, no ceremony, just speed. Some Splavovi feel polished and modern, LED lights reflecting off the river's surface. Others are darker, tighter, sweat building under low ceilings as the crowd presses closer to the DJ booth. Outside on the deck, the river moves steadily beneath you. Neon lights stretch across the water in broken reflections. Cigarette smoke drifts upward. Conversations are louder than necessary. Belgrade's nightlife isn't hidden behind velvet ropes. It floats in plain sight. You can move from one club to the next along the riverbank, bass overlapping as you walk, energy shifting slightly with each step. The city doesn't sleep early. It vibrates. Location: Sava and Danube riverbanks, central Belgrade. Drinks 400 to 800 RSD, $4 to $8. Entry varies by venue. Late night fuel after the music. By the time the bass softens and the river cools, Belgrade isn't finished. Near the riverbanks and back toward the center of Belgrade, small kiosks glow under harsh white lights. The menus are simple. The movements are fast. This is when Burek returns, sliced thick from large metal trays, layers of flaky pastry giving way to molten cheese or seasoned minced meat. Steam escapes as it's folded into paper and passed across the counter. Grills fire again for more Ćevapi, stacked inside warm salmon bread with chopped onions and a spoon of kajmak melting slowly into the meat. Some go for Pljeskavica, served wrapped tightly in paper, juices soaking into the bread before the first bite. Others grab slices of pizza or simple fries covered in garlic sauce, quick, heavy, necessary. No one lingers long. Conversations are slower now. Laughter softer. Shoes scrape against pavement as people drift toward taxis and early morning buses. The scent of charcoal still hangs in the air. Belgrade doesn't separate dinner from nightlife, it layers them. The market started the day. The music carried the night. The grills close it out. Location: Central Belgrade and Riverbank Kiosks. Burek 200 to 400 RSD, $2 to $4. Ćevapi 600 to 1000 RSD, $5 to $9. Beton Hala, the riverfront glow. Along the Sava, just beneath Kalemegdan Fortress, a row of restaurants and bars lines the water in tight formation. At Beton Hala, the mood feels slightly elevated. Glass facades reflect the river. Outdoor tables fill quickly at dusk. Cocktails arrive clean and precise. Wine glasses catch the last orange light of sunset. Grill smoke still finds its way here. Plates of Ćevapi and Pljeskavica share menus with seafood, sushi, and Balkan fusion dishes. Rakija is poured smoother, slower. Conversations stretch longer over bottles of Serbian wine. The river moves quietly beside it all, black and steady, reflecting the glow of warm lights. But Beton Hala doesn't stay calm for long. As night deepens, music rises from inside the venues. The decks fill. The river breeze mixes with perfume, cigarette smoke, and charcoal drifting from kitchens behind glass. It's polished, but still Belgrade. Location: Beton Hala. Karađorđeva Street, Belgrade. Mains 1,500 to 3,000 RSD, 13 to 27 US dollars. Drinks 600 to 1,200 RSD, 5 to 11 US dollars. Strahinjića Bana, where the night spills into the street. If Beton Hala is the glow, Strahinjića Bana is the spill. Nicknamed Silicon Valley by locals, this narrow stretch in Stari Grad tightens quickly once midnight hits. Bars stack side by side. Music leaks from every doorway. Outdoor tables push deep into the pavement, leaving just enough space for crowds to squeeze through. Beer bottles clink constantly. Bartenders move fast behind open windows. The volume builds block by block. Between the bars, late-night food windows stay bright. Burgers sizzle on flat grills. Ćevapi return to the flame. Pljeskavica patties press down hard against iron plates, edges crisping under garlic oil. Fries drop into bubbling oil and are tossed straight into paper trays. This isn't curated nightlife. It's compact, loud, and layered. People move in waves, one bar to the next, one drink to the next, one bite of hot burek before heading back into the noise. The street feels alive in a way that doesn't need stage lighting. It runs on repetition. Music, meet, movement. Location, Strahinjića Bana, Stari Grad, Belgrade. Beer 300 to 600 RSD, 3 to 6 US dollars. Street food, 400 to 1,000 RSD, 4 to 9 US dollars. Belgrade doesn't unfold in straight lines, it builds. From the morning rhythm of Zeleni Venac market, where Burek cracks open under steam and ajvar glows deep red on market counters, to the smoke rising through Skadarlija, where Ćevapi blister over open charcoal and tamburica strings carry through narrow stone streets. The city gathers heat. At Kalemegdan Fortress, the rivers merge quietly below ancient walls, a brief pause before everything shifts again. Then, night moves toward the water. Along Beton Hala, lights stretch across the Sava in long reflections. Glassware clinks, smoke drifts past river decks. Music grows louder with every passing hour. And further inland, on Strahinjića Bana, the street compresses into pure motion. Grills firing, drinks pouring, crowds weaving between doorways as if the night has no closing time. Belgrade doesn't separate food from music, it layers them. Smoke under sound, fire under rhythm, meat under melody. By the time the final burek is sliced and the last glass of rakija is emptied, the scent of charcoal still hangs in the air, thick, unmistakable, stubborn. In Belgrade, the night isn't an escape, it's an extension of the fire.